everyone, this is LeanneHarger. I graduated from the University of Southern Mississippi with a bachelor's in fine arts with an emphasis on education. I taught for 3 years in Texas when my husband and I were PCS there. He was there for a total of 5 years, so of course I was there with him. I have recently been very interested in multiculturalism, and that's what this presentation is about. And to begin with, I would like to know who all has ever, excuse my child, who all has ever felt like they were put in a box and were expected to remain in that box. What steps have you taken to remove yourself from that box? Too often, we not only place ourselves into these boxes, we place our friends, our family, our children, and even our students in these boxes. As an art educator, I know all too well how students are placed in boxes: good, bad, black, white, gay, straight, male, female, trans, etc. Who you are is important, but just because you may fit in a certain box does not mean that that is all you are. And that's where I started when I was creating my artwork for this assignment. I thought to myself about the boxes we are put into, about how we are expected to stay in these boxes, how these boxes are supposed to define us. So I began by coming up with as many types of flesh tones that I could possibly think of. And of course, there's obviously way more than the few that I came up with. They're the ones up here at the top. You can see them right up there. And then I decided to do some colors for male, female, trans. And then I also did colors for different religions and then did different ethnic groups. Now because of the time frame that we had, I did not get to continue with more colors. So I got to thinking, and I wasn't 100% satisfied with this work, that I accidentally messed up and I had this dot that wasn't supposed to be there. But how perfect was this dot? Because this dot was within a box, within a box, within a box, which was the point. We're in so many boxes that we couldn't possibly just be one thing. So I continued with the idea of these dots within boxes. And that is how I ended up with the final piece. There are dots within boxes, on top of dots, on top of dots, within more boxes. And the point is that even though your culture, your economic stance, where you live in the world, how you identify yourself, even though those things make you who you are, they do not define you as one singular thing. All of these things make up who you are. All of these things are important to who you are as a person. Multiculturalism is defined by the Merriam-Webster Dictionary as relating to, reflecting, or adapted to diverse cultures. It is important that we learn who our students are and to incorporate this knowledge into what we teach them. By teaching them about various cultures and diversities, we are empowering them. How can you create creative, bright, empowered young people if you are not acknowledging where they came from? Of course, there are many misconceptions about what multiculturalism really is. It is vital that you have a firm grasp on what it truly is before incorporating it into your classroom. According to Dela Cruz in 1995, these misconceptions include the belief that multicultural education is for victimized minorities, that the claim that multicultural education is against the West, predictions that multicultural education will divide our nation, and speculations that multicultural education will pass. Put these misconceptions to bed and go forth with the knowledge that if you are recognizing the cultural, political, sociological, ecological, and economic aspects of art, then you are truly empowering your students in a way that will set them on a path for success. So the first step is to step out of your box. Then you need to help your students to do the same by giving them the knowledge to do so. help them to know their own culture, help them to know other cultures, teach them about politics, teach them about our society, teach them about other societies, teach them about the ecosystem and the economy. After this, help them to realize that this is a part of them, but not all of them. Help your students to know that these things shape them, but do not define them. They can be the person who they want to be and not who they have been boxed to be. With all that being said, this is the blog from my personal website with the link given. If you're interested in reading on what I've just talked about, here's my link, and here's another image of the artwork. Of course, this is the image from my blog itself. And here are my references that I used for this presentation. Thank y'all so much for taking the time to listen to me, and I do apologize for my son crying in the background. Thank you. Good night.